It's Cooking with Jackson and Libbie. Yeah, Cooking with Jackson and Libbie.
Summer, summer, summer fruits. It wouldn't be summer without them. You know, one of the great things about summertime is that you can have fruit and you can have summer rolls. Of course, here in Hawaii, it's always summer.
It's always summer here.
So you can always enjoy
Which means I have to listen to him singing that song year round.
Summer, summer. It's a great song anyway. Look it up on YouTube. I'm sure it's there somewhere. One of the great things about summer rolls is it's light, it's refreshing. It's something that you can take with you on a picnic or take with you to school in a school lunch. And I don't think there's any time of year where they don't taste good. So we're going to show you. They are from Vietnam, but they are so easy to make. They're fun to make, and they're really fun to eat. And you're going to probably see some ingredients that you may not have been introduced to before, including something called, what does this say, Molly?
Bean thread rolls. No, it says
Go ahead, Persephone.
cellophane bean thread noodles.
Cellophane bean thread noodles. And what's interesting about these is these actually come from Taiwan. They're very popular all over Asia. And when you open the package, let me get a knife, I'm sorry. When you open a package of these, the noodles are not soft like we're used to. They are hard. They have this texture, and they often kind of look like hair. They look like your hair, except white. Anyway,
They do look like
they're like their hair. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you may need mom and dad's help on this. This is a pot of hot water, which we find really.
Is it boiling?
It's boiling
that
hot.
Looks like it's boiling.
It is boiling hot.
Okay, so you just boiled that water.
So I just boiled it. Put that in there, and watch what happens when you put the cellophane noodles in this. Can you count to 30 for me?
1, 2, 3.
See, what they do is the heat opens them up, it cooks them a little bit, and then it makes them expand. And there's Persephone, and you're doing a really good job counting for me. You can see they're loosening up. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, they are loosening up. And as they loosen up, they'll be easy to work with. And it really only takes 30 seconds when you put them in hot water. Now, of course, to get them out, you don't want to use your hand. It's 30 seconds, thank you. You don't want to use your hand. It's probably, and this is what they look like when they come out. You probably,
Is that water still really hot?
water is still really hot. You want to take that and put them like that. They're almost translucent. You can sort of see through them, which is why they're called cellophane noodles. One of the cool things about cooking in the kitchen is you should taste and sample as you're cooking. You want to try that?
Yeah.
Perfect, right? Yep. And so that's all there is to making cellophane noodles. They're really quite easy.
So it said 30 seconds in boiling water on the bag?
Doesn't say that. It's just generally a rule of thumb.
Generally a rule of thumb.
Okay.
Okay. But what you're looking for is a really slippery noodle, and you're looking for, you don't want them to be stiff in your teeth. There shouldn't be like a big crunch when you break them. They should really be kind of silky all the way through.
So cellophane noodles are one of our ingredients. We'll put that water aside, and we're going to use it in a minute for something really cool. So this is like the ultimate in sort of kid-friendly cooking. Now the water is hot, but you don't have to use the stove or anything because mom and dad can heat this up.
Do you need this?
We're done with that.
Okay, I'm going to move it.
Okay, so let me show you the rest of the ingredients that are going to be in these summer rolls. They're laid out here across the desk here. The first one is, do you know what this is, Persephone?
Cucumbers?
It is cucumber. So this is, of course, what a cucumber looks like, and this is how they look when they go in the dish. Do you know how to make them from here to this? I will show you, and this is cool. This is called a grater. Now, it's kind of sharp, and definitely you want mom and dad's help on this, but it's pretty easy. I'm going to show you how to do it with, it works equally well with cucumbers or with carrots. I already washed this carrot, so I'll show you how. So there's a plane here, it's kind of sharp, and you see when you go through there, it comes through on the other side. Can you see that?
Messy.
It is messy, but cooking is kind of fun because it's messy. And then I feel a dog licking my toes who's actually eating up the carrots as they fall on the floor. So that's the advantage of having a dog at home. Again, talk to mom and dad about that. Anyway, Jazz, Paul, you must love this. Okay, so this is how I made the carrots and the cucumbers. So this is what the carrots look like when they're all shaved. And then this next thing, it's a leafy vegetable.
Jim, which hole did you use on this grater?
The big one.
Use the big one to make those?
They're different size holes, but I use the big one, yeah.
Okay.
And different graters have different size holes.
Okay.
So this vegetable has leaves on it, a little stem. Do you see that? Do you know what that's called?
Cilantro.
Cilantro. You are a very smart puppet. So what's interesting about cilantro is it's sometimes known as Chinese parsley because a lot of it comes from Asia. It's also used in Mexican food. So it's very popular in both types of cuisines, and it's one of my favorite herbs.
One of your favorite herbs.
Not everyone likes cilantro. Hopefully, Jackson and Libbie, you'll like it.
Yes, we both like it, but some people, when they eat it, really don't like it.
Right. It's you either really like it or don't like it. There's almost no middle ground, but I hope you guys like it because it is delicious.
And I don't
Try
think
it.
anybody who really doesn't like it ever starts liking it.
Probably not. I don't know.
It's something
give it a
weird
shot.
about cilantro.
So-
most things you can learn to like.
This is an interesting thing. It looks a little like the cilantro. It is another herb. Can you smell that? She fell over. Do you know what that is, Molly?
It's mint.
It's mint. So I think pretty much everyone likes mint. It has sort of a sweet aroma to it. And that's the other green. And then this green, you know what this is, Persephone, don't you?
Lettuce.
Lettuce. What kind of lettuce?
Romaine.
Romaine lettuce from Rome. Actually, they are from Rome. Okay. And then finally, the only protein in this dish, and you don't have to use this, not everyone likes shrimp, but they really are the classic thing. You can also make these with bits of chicken or tuna, or you can do it with tofu. But shrimp is really the best. It's rather economical. You can just buy a big bag or even a few shrimps already cooked, or you can cook them yourselves, but it's really nice when they're all cooked and ready to go. And
you can get a big bag frozen of pre-cooked shrimp.
right, and which is what we do. We always have bags of shrimp in the house because someone can just drop by and you throw a few out and put some cocktail sauce. They have fancy shrimp cocktail, but it leaves a great impression, but they're really pretty inexpensive. So also one of the tricks that make summer rolls traditionally rather inexpensive food is you take a regular shrimp like this and then you cut it in half to get more to actually fit into the roll. But of course, by doing that, and I didn't do that very well, you get two halves to the shrimp. So you have that, and you don't want the tail. You throw the tail over there. I'm going to scrape this off. Oh, I didn't get to show you one of my cool things. This. Now, Molly will be the first to tell you I'm not much of a baker. This is, actually it's a Graham Kerr, who's the galloping gourmet, a whole other thing. But this is a thing used in bakery. It's called a pastry.
It's a pastry scraper.
Pastry scraper.
Or a bench
So most people use it when they're fancy pastry chefs. I use this nearly every, and because it's basic, and I use this almost every day to basically move stuff off the board and to put it into a bowl, which is actually how I set out all these things into the bowl. I used a pastry shape. There you go. Thank you for demonstrating. I really appreciate that. You're such a good helper. Okay, so our cellophane noodles, by the way, by this time, are all, thank you for patting me on the back. Isn't she great? Our cellophane noodles are soft. They're no longer hot. They're just sort of room temperature at this point, just while we're
And
talking.
okay, that's
the
fine,
idea.
right? We
That
don't
is
want
the
them
idea.
really hot.
Right. So the next ingredient that is kind of unusual is this. Can you read what this says? It's rice paper.
It's in another language.
It's in another language, but there's a little bit of English right there. It says, okay, rice paper. A lot of different brands, but this is rice paper.
You can find this in a lot of supermarkets now.
Yeah.
They used to only be available in Asian specialty stores.
But now I think pretty much any large supermarket has it. And all that's in it is tapioca, rice, salt, and water. So there's really definitely pretty simple ingredients. And what's cool, let me see if I can show you what this looks like when it comes out of the package, is it has a pattern to it. It almost looks like it's woven. You can see my hand behind it is translucent. And I'm going to show you what to do with it. It's kind of hard. You hear it? Sounds like a piece of plastic, doesn't it? You can't eat plastic normally, but this you can eat because it's not really plastic. So we're going to go back to this pot of water that I used to warm the noodles in. This is what makes this recipe so cool. And then you take this disc of rice paper and you put it in the water, which is no longer boiling hot. It's still warm. And so again, Mom and Dad may want to help with this, but as you go through this process, the water will get cooler and cooler as it just sits out. The sound effects always help. Now the thing is, the more you put it in, the softer it gets. So you want it soft, but you don't want it too soft that it curls up. There, you can sort of see the disc right there on the cutting board. And I'm going to put this hot water up here, and we're going to start building our summer roll. And traditionally, it's built with 3 half shrimps. You could put 4 half shrimp. Depends on the size of the paper. Let's do 3. Okay. And then we take some of these rice noodles. And again, tearing it is fun, using your hands. This is why you wash your hands and make sure everything's clean before you start with this. You put some of this noodles right on top of the shrimp. You know what? To make it really pretty, you turn the shrimp the other direction. You put the rice noodles on top, and then let's use a little bit of the cucumber and a little bit of the carrot and a little bit of the cilantro. It's always good to sample as you go along. And a little bit of the mint. Okay? And you can tear it up, and you really can't mess up. So right now it looks like you have a salad, but it'd be very hard to eat.
And sometimes these are called salad rolls.
They are. They're known in different restaurants. It smells so good. Just the mint smells so good in your hands. So you grab one of these edges. Now there are many elegant ways of doing this, and this may not be the most, but I do it like that, halfway, and then take the edges there, this edge.
It's kind of like making a burrito, if you've made a burrito before.
And this is, believe it or not, a rather decent looking summer roll. Now you'll notice that I didn't use the lettuce.
Right.
And there are 2 reasons for that. One is that while these were just some of the suggestions, things that I like, the cucumber and the carrots and the cilantro and the mint, you can use other things. You can use, some people like bean sprouts. Do you like bean sprouts, Persephone?
Yes.
Some people like jicama.
Yes.
Which is sort of a crunchy thing. It tastes, it's a root vegetable.
I like pickled daikon.
Daikon radish. So there are lots of different things you can put inside of your summer roll. These are the things I like. And the reason I left the lettuce out is if you mess up, which is very possible.
The reason I'm not doing this is because I'm not good at it.
You can take one of these lettuce leaves and hide your messed up roll inside of it and have a little bed, and it looks really nice. Now, sometimes you can put the lettuce inside the roll, but I like having the lettuce standing by as a delivery device in case you mess up.
Right. That way, too, when you're eating it, if it starts to spill out, then the lettuce is there to keep it all together. The lettuce kind of acts like bread in a sandwich.
It does. So if you hand me that dish over there, I will show you the final steps in terms of putting this together. So this is just basically a dish with a moist paper towel in it. And the moist keeps the moisture on inside of these, so you can see it's wet. And then you can basically put all of your summer rolls in there and then cover it up with cellophane, plastic wrap, and then they will keep in the fridge for about a day or 2. but they're really elegant.
They're best fresh, don't you think?
They're best fresh, I really do.
Yeah.
And now, some people can eat them this way, but we're gonna make, in another video, a recipe for a peanut sauce, which is really delicious. It's a dipping sauce that you can dip your summer rolls into and eat. But this one I'm just gonna eat without any sauce. I'll give Molly them. It just comes together. It's so tasty, so easy to make, and all fresh ingredients, and a really good way to explore cooking in the kitchen. Thanks for watching, Jackson and Libbie. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
It's Cooking with Jackson and Libbie. Yeah, Cooking with Jackson and Libbie.